you and your partner get the top 5 answers on the first try, both teams will win. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay, 20 seconds on the clock. We ask all the people that watch Miss Universe pageant these questions. Who is your favorite celebrity?
Steve Harvey.
What is your favorite award show?
Neighborhood Award.
What is the best season of the year?
Summer.
I explained to support earlier. If you get the top 2 answers, both teams will win a trip to the Hoodie Award. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's get an extra 5 seconds on the clock. Now the first question. What is the hottest month of the year?
July.
Okay. Name one of the hottest cities in America.
Las Vegas.
That is the top 5 answers.
Yes, change your mind. Woo! That's correct. So bad because you see my
Quiet on set. Elia, take 1. What is it?
Hello everyone, my name is iSAIAH Cherry and I am the host of the entertainment section of STI 740. And today we have a special guest today, Mr. Evan Anderson from the NBC 5 News, and it's going to be such a great interview. And I have my other hosts with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Yes, my name is Brother Savion Curd, aka SAVY GQ.
Brother Savion.
Hey, you already know it's your girl Leah.
And is there anything you want to say to the camera before we get started with this interview?
I just want to say thank y'all for having me. I'm glad to spend some time with you and answer any questions you may have.
No problem, man, no problem. So, just to get this interview started, I guess I'll ask the first question. So, Mr. Anderson, to be in such a broadcasting field, what are some of the struggles that you had to go through to get where you're at now?
Ooh, that's a deep one. I'd say the biggest struggle would be just to build a thick skin, because you got to deal with a lot of kinds of people, a lot of different types of stories, and it can get to you at sometimes. You can't completely separate yourself sometimes from different stories. You know what I mean? So that's probably the biggest struggle in journalism. That's more of a journalism thing. I say broadcast and all the lights and cameras. That's the glamour. That's all the stuff that you see after the fact. But you got to get to that point. You got to build the story. You got to get stuff that can capture people. So building a tough skin and being able to try to separate yourself sometimes from the story in order to, I guess, not go home and feel like you don't want it to be on you. Like throughout different stories that you do. So
Sounds good.
I don't have any deep struggles. So I've been out there working, but it's been a blessing to get where I am today. You got to work hard, stay focused, and do what you need to do to get to where you need to be. Know the right people, do the right things, right?
So, it seems to me that you have like a passion for journalism, correct?
You have to.
So, where did that stem from? Was it like something that's always been with you, or was it something that you discovered in college?
I think it was more of a discovery in college. You have people that are steady mentoring you and pushing you to do certain things. So I actually went to college just saying, hey, I just want to be a print journalist. I just want to do newspaper. That sounds easy. I can do that. But then I had this one mentor, this one teacher that said, hey, you should probably really look into broadcast and look into that field of it. So, but anyway, that's just the beginning of it. But to develop a passion, you have to have a passion for something like this, to do it every day, all day. It's a job you can't just turn off. You're constantly in the limelight. People know who you are. They're constantly coming up with stories. So you have to have a passion for it. Okay, some folks don't like to be bothered, but you have to have some type of, and to tell a good story. You want people to know that you care about what they're talking about, no matter what the topic is, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, no matter their status, no matter what kind of situation they're in. You want them to feel like they care. So people can sense that if you don't have a passion for what you do, I would say.
So that kind of brings me to my next question. So, on this journey, I guess you could say, who did you or who do you still look to for guidance? Like, who is your mentor?
I still have 2 main professors that I look to for mentorship. They put Facebook motivational messages. They're just constantly motivating you, constantly pushing you to that next level. Dr. Jake Sprucestar was one of my professors. She's at LSU right now in Louisiana. I went to school in New Orleans, but she went to LSU. That woman's steady on you, steady pushing you, steady keeping you focused. Another lady, Monica Pierre, she's on the radio in New Orleans, Q93. She's like a broadcast legend there. And she's the one that taught me it's a diction class, broadcast class, how to speak, how to talk, how to convey yourself. She's always been a great mentor. So I still look at people like that. Then I look at people on air too, especially black males on air. Okay, so I look at people like Don Lemon, like TJ Holmes, even just certain people that you think of on there that are on there doing their thing. You look at them, that's motivation. Okay, you see them at another level, right? You see them at a national level, you see them doing their thing that way. So you have your mentors you can talk to, and you have people that you're looking to that are keeping you motivated on a daily basis.
So when you're doing the outside coverage and you have like citizens that's coming up and they like do wild things behind the camera, or they'll just like come and snatch the microphone, how exactly do you like handle them situations?
They never snatched the microphone from
Never
me.
snatched the microphone?
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't happened yet. I say the time where that could have happened would be in New Orleans, when I was working in New Orleans. I did get somebody say the F word on TV once, but it was kind of in the background, and they were talking. I kind of pulled the mic away. But this was in 2009. The Saints had just won the Super Bowl, so they sent me out in the middle of the morning. You know, people are already drunk, like they're completely gone, wasted. So he didn't grab the mic, because I'm not gonna let anybody grab the mic. Now, some folks are just not paying attention, but when you're in that type of environment, you have to be aware and know that it's a possibility. But they did drop that forward. I did cut back, you know, and tossed it back to the anchors in the studio. But it happens. But nobody's ever snatched a microphone. But it can happen. But what do you do in that situation? Normally, what happens if the mic is snatched from you and you have no control over it? They'll they'll cut your shot and now get back to people.
Is that something like they teach you before you go on air, like how to handle different situations?
I think it's kind of a just like it's
natural
common sense type thing, you know what I mean? That happens. It's rare. It's not going to happen all the time. It does happen every once in a while, like if you're covering big events. Like I was in Ohio and I covered the Cavs winning the championship last year. Stuff like that can happen. It depends on what they're focused on and what they're doing.
Question: who do you got this year?
The Cavs. I'm going for the Cavs.
I can't, man.
Yeah. All these Warriors fans.
I can't do it, man.
Going for the Cavs. But yeah, you have to be prepared for anything. You have to be prepared for anyone to come up to you with all kinds of crazy stuff. That's why it's just good to be vigilant, because people target you, people target the media. So yeah, that's fun. People going around, walking around drunk, screaming and hollering, but you have to be, even in serious situations, you have to be aware. Yeah.
So what do you say is one of your most favorite experience in being a journalist?
Favorite experience? I would have to think about that to try to narrow that down right now. If I had to think of something, a favorite experience.
Or just one?
Let me just do a memorable experience, but like or the most touching experience that impacted me as a journalist. I have favorite moments, but I think more impactful moments that affected me was when I was covering. Because a lot of times, like I was saying, when you think about passion, you think about stuff hitting home with you. You go home and you go to the next thing. You try to separate yourself from, which is good too sometimes, because you'll go crazy. But at the same time, you still don't want to be too disconnected where you just don't care. So anyway, I was in Moore, Oklahoma. I was in Oklahoma City at the time, and there was a big tornado there. It was in 2013, and that was my first time being there from beginning to end. So we saw the tornado coming through. We watched it, but we had storm trackers behind us, and we saw, I've been in that community, I've been doing stories. Then to go back through there right after it happened, and it's gone. Like everything is gone. So it was a surreal experience to stand there, and as far as the eye can see, it gives you chills. Like when you were standing there, like it's gone. Our elementary school is gone. 7 kids were killed. So you have more of an impact. So you're telling a story from, like, truly you were there. You saw it happening. And you see people walking around, wandering around. They're like just in shock. So I say that's a more impactful, memorable experience. And then following that, because I was there for about 4 years, so that was 2013 to 2015. So following that experience up to the recovery, like all those stories, so you have more of a connection with something like that. So it's more memorable. I got to think about like a favorite fun experience. I'll say all of the like especially sporting events I get to cover, being out on the court, being in New Orleans, Oklahoma City Thunder, doing stuff with the Cavs. New Orleans Saints, those are fun, memorable, like favorite, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of have it fun, you get to meet different players. talking to Drew Brees and stuff like that's cool. That's kind of cool. Types, try to keep your composure. I met Magic Johnson on Fridays. So this past Friday he was here. Those are favorite, the type of things, just the nicest people. Most of them are fairly nice and humble. So yeah, I have to think about it. That would be impactful. Favorite would be stuff like that.
So what convinced you to go out there and chase that tornado? Like you knew it was coming?
So yeah. So we knew it was coming. So what happens is we have we know it's just the weather. We're assigned different areas. Okay, so we already are weather aware. That's in a weather alert day. There is potential threat for a tornado. So we know that there's something going to happen. So in any event, we send out all of our crews go out and we get in position, as safe position as possible, to get ready to follow wherever this tornado might be. So we have storm trackers and everything. And this is in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma's big on weather. It's just for some reason something about that place just attracts tornado alley. So anyway, they sent us out to do that, and that's how we do it. It's not my decision to go out there and chase the tornado. That was just what I was told to do, and it just evolved.
Okay, so before it sounded like you met a lot of celebrities. So, who is the most famous person you have ever met?
The most famous person?
Most famous.
Ooh. They're all famous. A lot of sports stars, different singers in New Orleans. A couple gospel. Mary came in studio one time. I can't narrow it down. I really can't. Most famous person, I really can't. Magic Johnson's probably up there. Yeah, shaking his hand was pretty cool. Yeah.
So, why did you, Evan Anderson, go to an historically black college?
To be completely honest with you, that was more of my mom and dad. Okay, because it was starting off. I understand the reason why, to have that foundation. For me personally, and for a lot of people, I think you need that foundation, that support system to go to HBCU to get to another level. That's just my opinion. You have people that are constantly looking out for you. You have people that are batting for you at every which way. It's just a constant support throughout all my 4 years. I was constantly given opportunities, constantly. And I'm only 30 and I'm in Dallas as an anchor. So I feel like if I didn't go to HBCU, I went to TCU for a year. So quick backstory, I was in New Orleans. My sophomore year, Hurricane Katrina happened. Okay, so the whole city was underwater. There was nothing to do. You couldn't go to school. So my campus was flooded. So I went to TCU. That experience at TCU just reinforced the reason why I went to HBCU. Just because I wanted to feel like, I just felt like it was just me by myself. There was a couple, of us here and there, but going to a historically black college was critical in my development right now. I mean, all those contacts, it's just a wealth of network. And I don't want people to think that, it's a diverse group of people. We have all kinds of people that go to a historically black college, but the support system you get is unlike any other. And that's what I encourage, especially people of color. If you can go to a HBCU to get that foundation, and then go to, if you want to get your master's or anything at a predominantly white institution, that's fine. I mean, whatever's for you. If you get a good scholarship anywhere, it doesn't matter, but I thought it was important after the fact, because I wasn't, like I said, that was mainly my mom. Say, hey, you need to go to HBCU. We had looked at a number of different colleges, like Hampton University, Morehouse, Dillard University, Howard, and then a couple of schools, like TCU was one of them, Sam Houston, and UT, Austin. But, those are big schools. You're just a number in some cases. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, to each his own, but I feel like when you get that foundation, it's just, it's amazing where a lot of my classmates are right now.
Alright, so I know the majority of the people that's watching this right now are the youth. So say that they wanted to do what you wanted to do. What is your suggestion to them? How do they prepare today?
Start now. If you depending on where you are in your career, and when I say career, I mean like your academic career, high school, college. You need to start doing some hands-on things, like ask questions, see if you can get internships at local TV stations. If you're into print journalism, just depending on what you want to do. If you want to be in a position of, if you want to be a journalist, if you're in high school, does your high school have a local paper? If they don't, do you have a community paper? You can kind of shadow somebody or kind of get your start there. It just depends on what level you're at. If you're in college, you need to be doing internships. reaching out to local reporters, Dallas Morning News, Star Telegram, local papers here in DeSoto, wherever it might be. Just to get some hands-on experience so you can build those contacts and build those networks. And you keep in touch with those people throughout your entire career.
Okay, so what is success to you, and then what is failure to you?
Success doesn't come without failure, I feel like. You have to fail, you have to have a couple failures, a few setbacks to realize how good success is. That's a really heavy, that's a heavy question too, I feel like. But I feel like success is being happy with where you are overall, not just in your career, but in your life. And you have to have failures. I mean, failure is different for everybody, I feel like. People take it different ways. What I consider failure may be just that setback or that stepping stone to get you to the next thing, to make you appreciate where you go after that. So I think I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's how I feel like you have to have a couple failures in order to reach your success.
So like something to build up on.
Something to build up on, you have to fall back on. So you may, like for example, a failure or success for me might be, hey, I got a job offer, and an interview and this whole thing in San Diego or whatever, and they said, we're not going to go. We're looking for somebody else. That's a failure for me. Then I get another success.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. Now we're going to open the interview for any questions that the audience may have, and if you would like to ask a question, we're going to point at you.
All right, so have you ever made any really big mistakes, like on camera, or just something really embarrassing?
Still, I think the biggest mistakes that we all make them, but for me, is mispronouncing big words that people really know, especially Congress people or different towns in foreign countries or places where we're fighting. When you mispronounce certain things, people, they get upset about it.
Was there like a certain time when that happened? Like one specific instance that you remember just like saying something very wrong?
There was y'all don't know who he is, I know, but y'all might. His name was Kim Jong-un. Okay? There's lots of different Kim Jong, okay? And there's Kim Jong-il, okay, I-L. I think so. He died, he died or something. It was like breaking news, and I was in New Orleans at the time, and in the prompter, it was like, I didn't read it ahead of time, so it's called a cold read. It's just where you just read cold, okay? So, Kim Jong-il is a world leader. People know him, okay? You can't mispronounce that. So, I said, in the prompter, it looked like a second, like 2L, like, how to see if the second. Right. So I said Kim Jong the second. Okay.
Oh man.
Oh my God, that was
I know.
Yeah, still to this day I can't. And it wasn't that long ago. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But still, people were like, "What the heck? How do you do that?" Like. That was probably one of the bigger ones. He's a world leader, and a lot of people probably didn't know who he. Come on, like a lot of folks probably didn't know him, but you have a lot of people that do.
So did you get any comments after that?
Sure, people email you. If I do the littlest things, okay. If I mispronounce the smallest thing, and somebody else say something, viewers, or you have viewers all times of the day. When you think nobody's watching, or when you get too relaxed, especially when I do weekend mornings, if I do a Saturday morning, like it's 5:30 in the morning, who's up really listening to what I'm saying? People are up and they're listening and they're Googling and they're checking and they're doing, it's just, you have to be on your game all the time. And I can't remember what I said a couple weeks ago, but, it's a news agency called Reuters. And if you heard of Reuters. But I know where I've heard of Reuters, I think I said Reuters, and it's just like a minor mispronunciation, and somebody emailed me, it's Reuters. So that's probably the biggest thing is pronunciation. Those are big mistakes. But other than that, not really. I mean, there's a lot of technical things that go wrong. Like I had a huge instance one time when I was in Columbus, Ohio, where all of our technical stuff went down. Like we had no video. I had no package. We tossed to a package like, NBC Five's, John Jenkins has more. Like that was all gone. It was just me and the meteorologist. We had nothing. Like our automation went down, so we just had to literally tap dance for 30 minutes because we had to fill that time slot. So we just kept going to weather. Like, all right, let's get another check on the weather. And she just kept doing the weather, and I came back and I read a couple stories. It was just horrible. So aside from technical issues, I can't think of anything too crazy.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So you mispronounced the name of North Korea's world.
Yeah.
North Korea's leader's father.
That's the biggest thing that comes to my head. Yes.
You're right there with the Tupac shirt. I respect you.
Thank you. Do you think you have accomplished everything in your life?
Of course not. I think we all have goals we set to reach. And I always tell people, when you have these big dreams never expire. That's just me. That's my whole thing. We all have things we want to continue to do. I don't see myself leaving home. I'm home, so I've been in the places I feel like this is kind of my ending, my stopping ground right now. But who knows what's coming out? I have different dreams. I have things I want to do where I am at my current, spot. I have different moves I want to make at NBC Five. So, absolutely.
You're right there with the ocean blue shirt.
Okay. I heard that you play piano. Or something
I
like
did,
that.
yeah.
How did that go? And also, who's your favorite artist if you have one?
Ooh, man. So first off, yeah, I was like a band, music, all that. I was like big on that because I took piano lessons for like 4 years. I took classical theory, gospel, all that. I played alto sax. I was a drum major in high school, so music was a big thing. I was kind of a band nerd. I really was. I was all in it. I have a number of artists, jazz artists. I'm not going to tell you one because I'll get myself in trouble. There's just so many. That jazz artists, R&B. If it has a good backdrop, a good beat, I listen to music differently. I think people that are into music and stuff like that are into just the technical part of it. They listen to it differently. So I have an ear for it. I feel. So there's a lot of good artists out there, but
You with the Supreme. Oh wait, danger.
How was it covering the election?
it was different. It was interesting because I was in a battleground state at the time in Ohio. And Ohio's a swing state, and so it's like Trump and Hillary was always there. I got tired of seeing them. They were just constantly there. And I was just like, God, and a lot of people weren't motivated about them, so it wasn't as fun covering them. But it was definitely an experience I won't forget because I went to a number of rallies. I went to Trump rallies and Clinton rallies. I did a lot of Trump. I don't know why they kept sending me to Trump rallies, but I did a number of Trump rallies. But it was interesting to see the type of the crowd, see people that were undecided voters, what their take was going into the general election. It was, especially in a swing state, and Ohio's a swing state because it's such a diverse group of all kinds of people from all over the world in Ohio. And then I was in Columbus, and Ohio State's there, and it's one of the biggest, I think it's the biggest university in the country. So you have all that, you have like a hodgepodge, like a melting pot of people there, so the election was really interesting. And then, of course, the candidates were there constantly. So that was interesting.
All right, so we're gonna take one more question.
One more question. Anybody have a question? Any questions?
Right there in the back.
You in the back with the pink jacket.
So I'm going into my senior year, so what advice do you have to give to the seniors that graduated?
The seniors that graduated, have a plan. And I'm being broad here, but if you're a senior that just graduated, have a plan. I mean, you should have a plan before you graduate, you would think. But have a plan, try to stay focused, and try to do something after you graduate from high school. High school is just a stepping stone. It's just a stepping stone into the next level. It's not the end all. I think most people know that. I think most high school graduates know that this is not the end for me. I need to go to the next step. And I need to have a plan of action. Something. You don't have to always go to college. Of course, college is, what I would push. Some type of degree in something. Find something that you're good at. Find something that you like. What are you interested in? What do you want to do? Those are thoughts you should be having, especially junior, senior year. But main thing, have a plan of action when you graduate. Know where you want to go. Take the summer off, relax a little bit, but know where you want to go.
Sounds good. So, can we all just give one last applause for this program?
For our viewers, where can we find you at, and what are you on?
So I'm on NBC 5 Wednesday through Sunday, generally. It changes every once in a while, but that's my normal schedule. So I'm on from 4:30 a.m. so I can get to bed soon. 4:30 a.m. to 7, then I'm on again at 11 a.m. So I do a 1 hour, 11 o'clock. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then I'm on from 5:30 to 7 Saturday, Sunday. Then we have a second show from like 8 to 9. So you just have to catch us. It's early, but I'm on it. But hey, that's when I'm on. So you can get up that early if you're waking up. You got an event or something in the morning, or just turn on the TV. And the morning show, people are getting up, getting dressed. They just kind of listening. I'm on social media, so you can get me on. You can just look up Evan Anderson on Twitter, Facebook. I'm setting up an Instagram account, professional Instagram. I have to, these days with social media. Social media is how we engage. It is how you get your news now in a lot of ways. Like a lot of our viewers get news. We push people through social media to keep watching TV. People are still watching TV, but they're not going to sit down and watch the news like they used to.
Do y'all have like news on like Instagram or Snapchat?
I don't know about Snapchat yet, but we do have Instagram. So we're posting pictures of, we post pictures with a little blurb like this is what happened. So we try to get you like, hey, for more information or for more what happened or for hear what he said about this, NBC 5 News at 6. So we're still trying to push people to watch the news. That is the challenge these days, is getting people to actually watch the news. People are getting their news from Twitter, they're getting their news from Facebook, they're getting their news from Instagram, and they're like, I'm good. What do I need to sit down and watch the news for? It's just not like it used to be. So social media is big for us. So you find me on all three, just Evan Anderson. That should come up. At Evan NBC 5 on Twitter.
Y'all hear that?
Yep, at Evan NBC 5.
So can we just get one more clap? Please. One more large clap. If I want to hear y'all tell me, y'all gotta clap. It warms my soul to hear y'all.
Oh, it's cold now. Okay.
Well, anyways, my name is ISAIAH Cherry. Evan Anderson.
Brother SAVY Curry.
Clear Swan.
And this is the entertainment section of STI 740. Thanks, Bert.
My two boys. It's been a great experience for them and for all the kids here. They've taught them so many things behind the scenes productions, in front of the camera, acting, interviewing skills, all sorts of things led by Mr. Cherry and Ms. Rachel Bitterman.
No more dependence on the government. We are depending on the people who believes that now is the time to reach our youths and give them a safe place to educate present and future hosts, directors, producers, writers, video techs, editors, news entertainment, and sports reporters, as well as news anchors who would otherwise never have the opportunity to develop due to the enormous cost of education. Do you understand what we are saying? It's free, and it's because of your sponsorship. This also gives urban teens who normally wouldn't have the opportunity to be taught by the best motivators, life coaches, instructors, and educators who truly care. Currently, we are the first program consisting of only youth that co-produce, direct, host, film, and co-edits their own footage. With your help, there is no reason why we can't take these kids with idle time off the streets and give them a voice. A network that caters to youths to express themselves, sending them to different cities for interviews, hosting red carpet events, and creating their own form of media.
Hello, I'm ISAIAH Cherry, and I'm an OCC pal. You want to become an OCC pal?